We're going live.
Jeff didn't get the memo.
Oh, did y'all wear your... That's cute.
Come on, man.
Did y'all... I don't even know where mine's at.
I just have mine. That's what I'm doing.
Dang, I didn't get the memo to wear those cool.
Yeah, I was going to wear that gray one. I was like, yeah.
All right. Welcome to On the Sideline. I'm your host, Jeff Holden. Today we're here with Coach O and Coach Evan Hearn. This is our new studio. We're excited to be here. We got a new mini-series called On the Sidelines 940 Football Preview. We couldn't really think of a really cool name, so that's all we get.
It's cool enough.
We have our first guest today for the football preview, and he is the head coach and athletic director at Holliday, Coach Kyle Atwood.
Well, appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah,
For sure.
We're glad you're here.
A little difficult to find there was no 700 on the door. Just said 719, come to 700. So I'm walking the hall looking for 700, but we found it.
We found
here.
it.
Yes,
You're good.
sir.
We found you. You're here, and we're ready for football.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so everybody knows football is king in the state of Texas. Sorry, I'm fidgeting with my mic. I feel like it's going to fall over. So football will be here before you know it.
Mm-hmm.
And Coach Hearn kind of thought of an idea where we could get some preview from the head coaches. Who else? You know, we hear about it, we see about it, we read about it. You know, what's the projections? You know, how they're going to do. But in our eyes, or our thought process is who else better to hear from than the head coach? And we don't have the resources to get out to every sideline of the football field. So we do appreciate you coming on the show here today. And I'll hand it over to Coach Evan Hearn and see what he's got.
Oh, yeah. And like you said, we appreciate you, Coach Atwood, being our first guest on this series. And like you said, what better way than to have our guests show it or come and talk to us about their teams. You know, you got the Dave Campbell, what I call the football Bible. Texas comes out and it gives their preview, and coaches like myself can be upset about where we're kind of standing, and Coach Atwood appreciates that a little bit. But once again, like I said, I appreciate you. But can you just give us an introduction about yourself and, you know, your coaching life and how you?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is going to be season number 2 here in Holliday. We've been my family and I and the coaches that have came with me have been thoroughly blessed to be in Holliday. I mean, we had a heck of a year in 23, 24, not only in football, but majority of our sports.
Yes.
So extremely successful year. Our kids are, each and every one of these coaches have young kids, and they're all thriving. And so it's been a blessing to be here in Holliday. But I started my coaching career in Alice as an assistant 2007 and 8 under Brent Davis. And then we transferred from there, moved over to San Angelo Central. They were 0-28 when we got there.
Yeah.
We went 2-8 year one, and then 6-5, and then they went 9 straight years with 10 or more wins. 6A program, one of the best 6A programs in West Texas. And so I was with Coach Davis as a special teams coordinator, receivers coach, and then I had my first head job in San Angelo Grape Creek. We were there for 5 years, kind of the same situation. I got there, and they had gone 0-10 the previous 2 years. We went 2-8. We didn't ever get to a 10-win season, but we did have. We went to the playoffs twice, first time in school history to go to the playoffs.
Wow.
So 6-5 year and a 7-4 year, and then headed back to Alice as the head coach, and I was there for 6 years. And so we've kind of traveled the state from West Texas, South Texas, now North Texas.
Ever coached out of Texas?
No, I haven't.
Good for you.
Yeah, and I don't know as if I'd like to. So
Yeah. Who would?
Yeah, well, and I'll say this too, because we're both West Texas boys. Me being from Plainview, as you know, and him being from Muleshoe. Most of you people do not know where Muleshoe is, but it's also the home of Lincoln Riley. But it's the home of Coach Kyle Atwood, and so part of that San Angelo staff. I know they did some great things. You were there that year that you guys played Allen, correct? Yeah. And I remember just one of your guys, I think he was Sports Center #1 play.
Yeah, they had. There was a one-handed grab. No, I was already in Great Creek at that
okay.
time,
Okay.
but it was still the same staff. I was there on the sideline and watching.
Hey,
that way.
OTS.
Yeah.
So,
There we go.
But yeah, so Lincoln Riley, we grew up together. He was a quarterback, I was a receiver, and then I was a point guard. He was a post. We've been best friends since kindergarten. So
Oh wow, very cool.
yeah, but he's definitely a
Is there
icon
any
there in Muleshoe.
nothing? You're not leaving Holiday for OU anytime soon. Or I
Yeah.
mean,
For USC.
USC.
No.
Okay.
My goal is to coach my son, and he's 11 years old. So I'll be
All
doing,
right.
doing this gig for a while.
Longevity.
There you go. So we started this off like you had an incredible year in your first year at Holliday. So can you tell us what was your record last year and how far you guys made it to the playoffs?
So yeah, we ended up going 11-2. We lost that week 2 game against Jim Ned, and it was a beating. It was
A wake-up
difficult.
call?
It was difficult to be on the sideline on that Friday night, but I tell you, it was really good for us. We learned from it. We did some things differently offensively, and we just continued to get better. And then our second loss came to Jacksboro in the 3rd round there Friday after Thanksgiving, which was definitely a tough one. It's nice to be able to play on Thanksgiving that week. We always tell our kids it's special to be able to practice Thanksgiving morning, and it was a heck of a game. We won for the record books, but it would have been a heck of a lot better had we finished on the other end of that thing. But yeah, overtime thriller, lost by 1, but we were proud of the kids and the way we competed last year.
So I have a question for you. With the successful season like last year coming in, it was year 1 for you, being as successful. I always do twofold questions. So the first part of the question is, how hard is it going to be to replace a quarterback like Grant Cox?
I don't know if you can replace Grant. The kid was phenomenal on the ground, in the air. He's just a true born winner. And he didn't have intentions on playing initially whenever I got here. I'll tell you a funny story. So I'm walking in. He's finishing up his basketball season. He's coming down the hallway, and he didn't have his vehicle at the school for some reason. I said, "Here, you can take my truck if you'll play football this next year." And he said, "No, I keep your keys." And walked off. I thought,
Oh my God!
There goes my chance of getting Grant Cox out. And he's kind of continued to build a relationship, and through baseball season, and it was midway through the spring that he texted me and said, "Hey, Coach, I'd like to compete for the quarterback spot." And I said, "Come on, let's go." And we were doing some quarterback school stuff. He came in, and it wasn't too long after that when he took over control of that quarterback room, and just had a heck of a year. Phenomenal leader. So yeah, answer your question, he's hard to replace, but we got a kid, Hunter Jones, who was there every practice, got all the reps, looked really good through spring for us this year. We're excited to see him. He's a tough kid. He can spin it too. He throws the ball probably a little bit better than Grant did. Doesn't quite have the wheels that Grant did, but he's gonna do some great things for us this year as well. So we're excited to see Hunter out there.
Okay, and then
Awesome.
my next part of my question would be, just because we all live in the same community. You've came in and honestly went against the norm in Holliday. For years they've been a wing T team. You brought a different dynamic for them. As a coach, what has it taken for you to get the kids that's been Holliday kids, bred in it from top of Texas all the way through, to just get the buy-in to understand, not only is this good for you guys, but it's also from a college standpoint, it helps colleges see that you can be more than just, because 3A, I think sometimes and down get the knock of, oh, those kids are only good for schemes, but showing that these kids are diverse.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the kids were hungry to throw the ball a little bit. We got in the spring, and there were a lot of balls on the ground, not so many caught by the hands. So it was not an easy task early on. But I tell you what, really and truly, what they've done in the past is what helped us be successful this year offensively. After that game against Jim Ned, we realized, hey, we've got to be able to have a ground game as well. And so we went back to some of the basic wing T stuff that they were doing in the past. And so we were able to marry that stuff, and we got better throwing and running the gun, 10, 11 personnel stuff 20 personnel stuff that we normally do, but also being able to jump into the wing when we needed to.
Mm-hmm.
And, if you watch our games throughout the course of the year, we were able to jump back and forth. And I think that made it fairly difficult for defenses to defend us, to be able to do both.
Yes,
so, but we spent majority of our time this spring working our 10 personnel gun stuff. The kids know the wing inside and out. Like you said, they've been doing it since they were in third grade. And so we feel like if we can continue to get better offensively at our our spread gun stuff, that we're gonna be pretty difficult to stop in the long run.
So I know you had a big senior class, and I guess I'll take those twofold questions. So, what will your strength this year as a team look like? And you can answer that one first.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that obviously experience and you look at, we graduated, I think 17 seniors last year, huge senior class. So we were experienced in the game of football, but we weren't experienced in our philosophies and our schemes. Mm-hmm. And so it almost doesn't matter how good your talent is if you don't understand the philosophy, the scheme, and able to get out there and execute it. And so we got tremendously better over the course of the year because our kids began to understand our schemes, our philosophies. They bought into it 100%. And so as you go through the spring, we're seeing we didn't have a drop off from the last game, in week 13 or 14, in the spring. Like, our kids just retained all of that. And so I think the experience in our philosophy is going to be our strength. And then the mentality. Our kids have a winning mentality, and it's really not just in football. It's a majority of the things that we do out there. The kids,
that's a culture.
Yeah, they just expect to win, and so that's that's something huge to be a part of. And that we were down 8-7 against Iowa Park at halftime, and so I try to get the kids going, trying to fire them up before we go back out. I headbutt a kid, my head split open, it's blood coming out down my forehead. We get out there, and the kids, they finish the deal, and I had 2 or 3 on the way out, like, hey, coach, you don't have to get that fired up. Like, we're going to take care of business. We're going to win this game. There wasn't a point in the course of that game that they didn't think they were going to win. And so, to have that mentality, that culture is huge as well. So I think that's a strength as well.
And the second part of my question is, how many, like I said, I know you guys had a big senior class. How many offense or defense starters are you guys returning?
So if you look at it, we had 2 prolific running backs last year at the beginning of the year. Kaysen Yo, he's one of the better ones, and I've been at the 6A, 5A, 3A level. He was a phenomenal running back, especially in what we do. He is agile, he is explosive, he is physical. Tears his ACL week 5. And then you also have Tyrese Polite, who'd been offensive MVP in the 22 season. He's more of a wing T style running back. He's a hard-nosed, hard running back, hard kid. And he continued to get better. And so Kaysen goes down, Tyrese jumps in there, and we're getting a lot better with him. Back there, he tears his ACL in that second playoff game. So we go into Jacksboro, and we've got 2 juniors, which are coming back this year. Mm-hmm. And these kids are really good. Still Skinner and Parker Jones. I mean, you look at Parker as probably one of the best football players in the area, in my opinion.
I'd say for sure the best linebacker.
He's been an all-state linebacker his freshman, sophomore, and junior year. I don't know how many people in the state of Texas are able to be 3 or 4 year all-state kids. And so and he's, I go back and every coach at the end of the year, you go through and you break down your film, you break down your offense, and you do a self-scout. And I'm like, man, every time we handed the ball to number 22 to Parker, we're averaging 8 yards a carry.
Oh, I got videos of the kids just plowing kids over.
That's great coaching in my part, but not giving the ball more. I'm like, goodness gracious, we get 8 yards a carry every time that we hand it to him. He's probably hand it off to him a little bit more. So we bring in both of those kids back. They weren't starters initially in the beginning of the year, but they were starters when we finished. So 3 of the 5 up front, and then 3 of the 4 at the receiver position. So we're bringing back 7, 8, I believe. Defensively, we're bringing back 6, 2 up front. Parker Jones at the linebacker position, Still Skinner at the outside linebacker, Brady Jones at the corner position, and then Ashton Berry at the other corner. So we got some holes to fill, but we've got a good nucleus of kids coming back, and we were excited with our JV kids and what they did and the work that they've put in the spring and the summer. So we're excited to see the kids get out there and compete.
Yeah, I was going to touch on the running back thing. I came out with my camera a couple times to a few, I think maybe 2 of y'all's game, one in the midseason, I think maybe against Henrietta. I can't remember. And then the playoff game, obviously, with Jacksboro. And it seemed like you guys were just throwing anybody back there to run the ball. And they were doing well. And it was like, I was going to say, are you, but you kind of answered the question, are you guys going to be running back by committee? Or are you going to do that 1-2 punch? Or are you looking to, obviously, I guess the 2 kids that had injuries were seniors, so
yes, yeah, they're
not coming back. But do you have any younger underclassmen that are coming up that can touch the ball or run the ball out of the backfield?
We do. Yeah, we've got Cannon Faulkner. He got some reps for us this last year. Was a sophomore. He'll be a junior, and he's a low 11 kid in the 100. Big physical kid. He looks really good back there. And then we've got a couple of JV running backs that are moving up that will do some damage for us as well. And then there's a kid that played defensive end, Von Hamill, who is a 49 quarter kid who's a low 22 in the 200. Never played offense for us. He was a wing back in the wing tee, but he gets reps all the time. But like you said, we had a plethora of running backs last year, so he didn't get any touches, but we'll see him touch the ball a little bit this year as well.
The realtor we trust is Kim Roart, given to others with love. Kim was raised in this community and has been selflessly serving for over 20 years. Kim encourages everyone to thrive in their purpose. Kim is part of the Homes for Heroes program, where she gives back a portion of her commissions from each closing to all military, firefighters, law enforcement, healthcare, and educators who use her services. Whether you're looking to buy or sell, Kim is the realtor for you. Go check out the website, homesforheroes.com. Since starting from scratch in 2020 by longtime resident of Clay County, Bob Belcher, Duck Creek Disposal has quickly become one of the most trusted waste disposal service and dumpster rental companies serving the 940 community and the surrounding areas. Local to the core, they take immense pride in being a part of the Wichita Falls community. Duck Creek Disposal's deep roots mean that every customer is treated like a neighbor. Their promise is to guarantee the best customer experience in the area, and they live by it. Whether you're a homeowner, contractor, or business, they've tailored their services to suit varied requirements. Bob's hands-on approach and belief in personal connection means that when you call Duck Creek Disposal, you're experiencing a standard of service that Bob himself envisioned. You talk to real people, not a machine. Go give Bob a call at 940-257-5660. Serving the 940 community for 12 years, Allegiance Electric and Controls is the trusted go-to for commercial and industrial electrical solutions. Contact them for reliable, tailored services to keep your operations running smoothly. Please call or visit their website at aecllc.com. For all your paving and concrete needs, we trust Freeman Paving, LLC. Located in Vernon, Texas, Freeman Paving is our recommended business for concrete, paving, and dirt work. They have over 20 years of experience working right here in our community. Next time you need any concrete work, give them a call, 940-552-9496. If you're looking to treat yourself to a delicious dessert, then Yogurt Journey is the place to be. Yogurt Journey offers 12 delicious flavors of frozen yogurt with over 60 topping options. If you want something warm instead, stop by to enjoy an amazing funnel cake, fried Oreos, fried brownies, or fried candy. Yogurt Journey also offers frozen yogurt rolls, waffle frozen yogurt rolls, and smoothies. If you need a cake for your next celebration, Yojo provides custom frozen yogurt cakes. Yogurt Journey is located on Kemp Street across from Barwise Middle School and is open daily from 12 to 9 p.m. For all your roofing-related needs, we choose Assured Roofing and Construction. At Assured Roofing and Construction, their hard work is based off honesty, loyalty, and integrity, ensuring that every customer gets what they deserve and is happy and stress-free throughout the entire process. When any storm damage occurs to your roof, gutters, fencing, or siding, Assured will have you covered and help you from the initial free inspection to filing your claim, meeting with adjusters, and getting your damaged property fixed properly. Give AG a call at 940-782-1194. Very cool.
So we talk about the skill players all the time, you know. That's all fun. But the one question, just because I admired him and I had a lot of respect for him as a football player and baseball player, we talked about Grant. How do you replace a kid like Cooper Turner?
That's another one that's hard to replace. You know, he was all-state on both sides of the ball this year for us. But more than that, he is a leader.
Yes,
you know?
he is.
He's not gonna just be out there as a cheerleader. He's a leader by example, and he's one whenever he speaks up, the team listens. And so, yeah, Cooper Turner is going to be hard to replace. But he did such a phenomenal job. We had, you know, Creed Neal came in, started for us at the left tackle position as a sophomore this last year. Heston Davis as a sophomore started at the right guard position, and Cooper's the one that brought those kids along. And so, you know, we can't thank him enough, or we're going to be better up front offensively because of what Cooper did with these younger kids this last year. And so, yeah, he's definitely one that's hard to replace. But you know, we're excited to see these younger kids step up there and play, and we're proud of Cooper and everything that he did to prepare these guys to be ready to go this year.
So I have another question since you brought it up. I know a lot of the Holliday kids. Speaking of Heston, how was the transitioning of and the buy-in? And it just shows what type of kid he is to get him to, because most kids don't do this. What I'm about to say is he went from being a running back, skill player, to being willing to accept the role and realizing that he would be more successful in helping the team more playing that guard spot.
Yeah. So through 7th and 8th grade, I think Heston was one that
He's like a little
I
butterfly.
wasn't here at that time, but I've seen some video and whatnot. People couldn't tackle him, and he had speed, right?
Yeah.
So he was the stud running back for that class and for Holliday. And so you know, it's probably difficult for kids to say, hey, this is what's best for my team, but you know, I don't know if I necessarily would like to do that. But he's a true team player, and you know, majority of our kids, if not all of them, are, you know, whatever's best for the team, that's what I'm willing to do. And so we went through the beginning of the fall, and you know, like we talked about, our running back stable was we had a number of kids in there, you know, and so we didn't necessarily need him in that position. He was, you know, the second string at the Mike linebacker, but you're playing behind Colin Hayes, who's been a 2-year starter, who's a heck of a linebacker. And so the amount of time that he was seeing on the field just wasn't good enough for his ability, in my opinion, you know. And so I told him, you know, here's a spot that we could use you. If you're willing to make that move, you're going to be on the field, and you're going to be on the field a lot. And so he did that, and he never looked back. You know, we've graduated a few of those kids in the running back position, and he's told me that, you know, I want to do what's best for the team. And I said, well, if staying at the guards, what's best for the team? He said, well, then that's what I want to do. And so he'll start at the linebacker position for us, and then play some guard, and you know, possibly center if we need him to. But yeah, he's a pretty selfless kid, and we've been proud of the progress that he's made.
That's what's up.
Very cool.
So
you got one?
Yeah, let's talk about your schedule, your non-district. Talk about your non-district schedule, and then we'll talk about your district schedule.
Yeah. So Battle of the Birds. That was, I didn't know what the heck that was when I got here, and I'm like, man, that we're 18 miles away. Get to know Coach Swinson. I'm like, this would be a pretty cool deal. And then we go to that game, and it was. I mean, it was everything that people made it out to be, and it was a heck of a game as well. And so we wanted to keep that thing on the schedule, but Coach Swinson and I visited, and it's like, let's do it a little bit later on. Mm-hmm. Well, then they ended up getting into a bigger district than what they were expecting to. So we had them scheduled for week 4 or week 5, and then we lost that game because of the district that they had gotten into. So we're going to open up week 1 with Breckenridge, who they're good year in and year out. You know, they've got a lot of history, and so that'll be a good test for us. And then we're going to drop down a little bit in classification and play Munster, who's they've got a group this year that's a junior class that's supposed to be extremely loaded and have a chance to compete for it all this year and next year. And so it'll be a good challenge for us. And you know, Coach Carney does a heck of a job with those guys, and so we're excited about that week 2 game. And then we're going to play Fort Worth Benbrook week 3. and don't know a whole lot about them. They played Breckenridge and Iowa Park last year. I think they beat both of those maybe. They were pretty tight games though, but I think they had a sophomore quarterback, sophomore running back, so they should be pretty solid. And then week 4 we got Burke Burnett, and then week 5 we're going Jim Ned. You still got you got your Burke Burnett shirt on.
I'm from Burke, man.
This is a holiday show today, isn't it?
You're right. I'm sorry about that. All my Holiday people. Hey, I love Holiday.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about a culture over there. Those kids, I mean, it's like they just breed athletes over there. I mean, it's just year after year after year, and and now they got the UIL championship. I saw that.
Yeah.
It's like they're great athletes and great students. I mean, not to say that nobody is, but that's just crazy. And I've always been a fan of Holiday. I mean, they always seem like they're one of the last teams playing in most sports, you know. So for me as a video guy, I get to do a lot of Holiday games. I got a lot of Holiday parents. Shout out to the Holiday parents that just keep me busy from time to time. But hey, I mean, that's like I said. I mean, I love watching Holiday sports. You're always competitive. Yeah, I don't know the last time I've seen Holiday been blown out by a team in any sport.
I can't think of one.
So, I mean, yeah, I'm a Burke guy, but I'm a Holiday fan too. I love all the schools around here, just so everybody knows. But yeah, I did wear a Burke today. But
Hometown.
you know,
It's okay.
got to do that. Sorry.
So we all know every 2 years the UIL, you know, realigns the district. So tell us, did you guys district change, and if so, who are your new district foes? Or
Yeah, so we as we got our realignment, we lost S&S Consolidated, and we lost Callisburg, and then we gained Jacksboro, and we gained Millsap. So, you know, I think it probably got just a little bit tougher, our district. But the travel will be good. It won't be too bad. And then Millsap's new to me. We hadn't played Millsap, but, you know, Jacksboro, we're in the spring sport district with Jacksboro. Coach Hubble and I've developed a pretty good relationship. So, and then we know their kids. We play them in basketball, baseball, see them on the track. So I think it's fun to play those guys that you kind of get to see those kids develop over the courses of the years, and then you see them, you get out there and you're like, all right, hey, you're way better than you were last year on the basketball court. Now, I mean, you put in some work this summer and that sort of stuff. So I'm excited about our district, but yeah, I think it'll be a little bit more difficult than it was last year.
Yeah. And real quick, I don't have a Holiday shirt, Coach.
So I can take care of that. I can get you a shirt.
Hey, I'll wear it.
If you'll wear it.
I will.
yeah,
All right.
I'll wear
on
it.
the sideline.
All shirt. Yeah, I'll wear them all. On the sideline when I come do video.
Okay. There we go.
There you go.
So what are your team goals this year? I mean, I know we've been talking a lot. So what would you say are some of your team goals this year? Maybe not record wise, but whatever.
You know, when we sit down with the kids and we talk, it's our goal each and every day is just to get better as a team. And I think through the spring we did that. I mean, we're able to we're throwing the football around effectively. We're getting plays in. We're able to play at the tempo that we would like to play at. We never could do that necessarily last year. Play as fast as we'd like to play. Defensively, we were able to get aligned. And so we just want to continue to get better each and every time that we're out there. And then, you know, obviously everybody wants to play for it all, right? But I think the main thing and kind of what we preach and what we believe is, hey, let's take care of each and every day, and that'll take care of each and every week, and then that'll give us an opportunity to continue to play.
For sure.
I'm surprised O didn't ask his question.
Oh, I am.
Oh, okay. I was a
That
little worried.
questions can't come.
Okay.
I'll ask real quick because I just thought of one. So a few things I see, you know, when I'm out doing video and just in general is like the different things that teams do on and off the field, you know, how they behave, you know, like simple things like at the end of halftime. A lot of teams just run straight to the dugout, but a lot of teams huddle up, you know, on the field. And I think you're one of those teams, right? What goes on in that huddle? Like, are you doing something there before you get to the locker room to do more stuff? I mean, because I don't see that very often. I think you and Jacksboro, maybe Henrietta, but like a lot of other teams, they just run straight to the locker room. So
you know, when we get into the locker room at halftime, we spend the first 8 to 10 minutes as a staff. Like we go through and what are they doing that hurts us, so on and so forth, and so we can make some adjustments before we go talk to the kids. So that's an opportunity for me to talk to the kids and address them, so get them calmed down before they go to the locker room. And it doesn't matter that you're either riding the high of the momentum at the end of that first half, or something's happened and the momentum's with the other team, and so you got to calm them down a little bit. But it's really just to address the kids and say, hey, way to finish, or hey, we've got some things to change, but get in there, get off your feet, get some water in you. Because sometimes those guys will go in there and you're really emotional, and kids will start saying this or saying that, and so I really just preach to them before going into halftime. Just get off your feet, stay quiet, stay relaxed, think about whatever your job is, and we'll be in there in about 10 minutes. And then it's an opportunity for our training staff to kind of get in there and get ready for whoever they may need to see as well. And so they take off before the kids do.
Very good. And then real quick, twofold questions. This seems like our agenda today. Not really on that same line, but kind of. Do you guys have anything that you do like as a tradition? Like, it was your first year last year, and now you're going into your second year. Is there anything that Coach Atwood does that's kind of a tradition or something that you hope to maybe carry on year to year to year for Holliday football?
Whenever it was, I guess, 99, I got pulled up to play a varsity football game there in Muleshoe, and Coach David Wood was there. And their tradition was right before we take the field, before we go out, we say prayer, we sit there, the lights go out, and we listen to Phil Collins. And then whenever the drum roll hits, everybody gets up, the lights come on. And I always thought that, it brought chills down my neck each and every time we did it. My sophomore year, my junior year, my senior year, and I always said, I want it. And so I told Coach Davis about that. No. And so when I got my first head job, that's the first thing we did. The very first game, boom, lights go out, and we're listening to Phil Collins. And so we do that. And I just kind of talk to the kids. And then, that drum roll hits in the middle of that thing, the lights come on, and it's a lot of emotion running over them as they take the field. So I think it's cool. I don't know. So
very cool.
That's a good song.
That's
yeah.
I'd love it.
So
just trying to vision it, but yeah, that's cool.
So my next question is my signature question.
All right, here we go.
So it's going to be two folds though for you, but since you're a coach. So the first part is what is your pregame meal that you like to eat before games?
So each and every year it changes. My wife and I will eat lunch together, and it'll start off with an RT's double cheeseburger. And then if we go through a loss, then we'll switch it to maybe some catfish. RT's has some catfish on Friday. But yeah.
When you say RT's, what's RT's?
RT's is a convenience store there in Holliday.
Okay. Just for the view, maybe. RT's,
if you
shout out.
You need to try it.
Hey,
I love catfish.
I didn't know where RT's was.
I don't even know what that is. That's what I'm saying. Where's RT? We might have to make a trip.
You need to. It's a good place. Yeah. And it's just about the only place in Holliday. So. Yeah.
So the next question is if you have to travel with the team, either playoffs or whatever, what's a pregame meal that you something that you like to feed the kids before games?
So we do the same thing every week. I go to Sam's and I buy a bunch of sandwich stuff. We get pickles, fruit, some crackers, things of that nature, and then our coaching staff, which they don't really necessarily enjoy it, but we make sandwiches for the kids each and every Friday, and then we'll feed them after the game, and it kind of differs depending upon where we're going. But before the game, I can remember whenever I was growing up, it was McDonald's, pizza, whatever, and so we're trying to feed them something that's going to be as light on their stomach to where they can get up there and be pretty effective and efficient at 7:30. And so, we make those, and we're on the road. The first thing that we do is open up the sandwiches when we get off the bus. We go out for a walk through, and so we kind of do a little shakeout for about 10, 12 minutes, and our ball boys and managers set the sandwiches up, and the kids come back and they scarf them down.
So y'all, this is home and away games that y'all.
We do it at home as well. Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool. That's kind of keep the kids locked in versus them driving, leaving.
Well, we don't allow. Yeah, and at a home game, as soon as the pep rally's over, we keep them. There's a lot of bad things that can happen whenever kids leave, and you know, not necessarily them going out and getting in trouble, but, you know, hey, I'm late to get back. You know, we'd say 4:15 and then it's 4:10 and here they go trying to hit 100 miles an hour to get back, so on and so forth. So we keep them there. We feed them, so there's nothing that they need. You don't need to go get anything. You just stay here. We feed them, get off their feet. We'll go through a little walkthrough, watch a little film, and then everybody listens to a little bit different pregame music than whatever gets them hyped up. So
It's pretty cool.
What's your pregame music?
it differs week to week. I'm a Texas country. I like Texas country, so sometimes it's Texas country, and then every now and then I'll have to go back to the whole good old rap. You know, some Bone Thugs, maybe, or a little Tupac.
Yeah, I like it. Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
What do you got, Evan?
Oh man, I once again I just can't thank Coach Atwood enough for joining us today. Like you said, you know, being a part of this first ever, you know, coaching series, and just like I said, just can't thank you enough giving us the insight. And now that I found out he's a West Texas guy, I like him even more.
Yeah, there we go. No, I tell you, I'm extremely happy to be here, but I can't thank you and our coaches in general. Thank you guys enough, because what you do just gives back to our kids, you know, and you know, the kids get out there and they compete their tails off, but for them to be able to get some recognition, and it's really nice, and so we appreciate everything that you guys do as well, because it's a lot for our kids and our programs, and you know, we're really appreciative of it.
Yeah, we're glad. I mean, that's what we're all here, you know, for the kids, including yourself. Something we started, you know, that's our focus, is the kids. Other people may say this or that, but if we can get one kid to college, or if we can get one kid to, you know, to be seen by this or that, I mean, you're right when you say they worked their tails off. You know, we were all kids and we all did that, and we didn't have nothing like this, you know, growing up. So for them to hopefully see this, and, you know, some of them follow along, some of them watch what we're doing, and you know, send in messages and stuff, but we're just getting started with what we're trying to do. Yeah. And to have someone like you and the other coaches on board with that, I mean, it's huge for us, because it makes it easy for us to keep doing what we're trying to do too. So thanks again for coming in.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you got anything for us? Oh, you got anything else?
Oh, no, just good luck on the season, other than, you know, which week.
Yeah.
No, but Holiday's it's tremendously blessed to have you, Coach. I believe that the culture in Holliday has been a culture for a long time, and you're just enhancing a lifelong journey of these young people, these young men, and not only just being the football coach, but being an AD. You know, the culture of track, volleyball. I mean, those kids are winners. Most of them, when I see them, I was like, man, you're just winners. You know, you just they're what you call, they find a way. They might not always be the best team, but they find a way to get it done. And, you know, that takes a special group to do that, but it also takes great leadership to get those young people there. So kudos to you again. Great, best of luck this year in this football season. You know, football is a sport that, I mean, your wife probably can testify to this. It's just me giving the wives the shameless plug to the wives of allowing, you know, your husband to pour into the young people the way that they pour into, and he has an 11-year-old son, so that's even another, you know, testament of your son being willing to allow you. I hate to say allow, but being willing to share you, because you know, being an AD and a football coach is not easy. So the countless hours that goes into it. A lot of people don't realize you get called about everything. Hey, Bobby's not acting right. Well, why you gotta call coach? But it just happens that way, because you become more than a coach to these young people. So kudos to you for doing that. Most of your players that I've talked to, they speak highly of you. So for a kid to speak highly of his coach, that means that you're more than a coach. You're more of a mentor.
Yeah. So if that's it, then again, I mean, we can't thank you enough for coming up. Yeah. Hopefully sometime, you know, we're bringing you up for something else. And,
sounds good.
Come back, or hey, we got the ability to call. We may just call you one day and say, hey, Coach Atwood, how's things going?
Yep.
So
sounds good. And next time I'll bring you a shirt.
Yeah, just bring
you
Jeff
a holiday shirt.
Just bring Jeff a shirt.
Hey, I'll wear
they'll kill me if I put on that.
Hey, I'll wear all shirts. All shirts, bring them to me. I'll wear I love shirts. You know,
Yeah, you do love shirts. Hats, too.
yeah, I do love hats. I love it all. But, hey, that's a wrap for the first 940 football preview with Coach Atwood out of Holliday. We wish them the best of luck this season, and I'm sure we'll be in touch with him, and I'm sure we'll see some highlights from their games because they are a good football team.
Appreciate it.
All right, we're out. See ya.